Nobody wants to hear this, but here it is. You're probably about to blow your next paycheck on stuff that makes you poorer, not richer. So let's fix that. These are 10 things actually worth your money, and no, a new phone case isn't one of them. Start cheap, like coffee cheap. A book costs you less than a fast food combo, and it can hand you someone else's entire life lesson in a few hundred pages. I used to think business books were boring until a coworker basically forced one into my hands during a slow shift. Changed how I saw money completely. If you want a starting stack, grab something on building wealth without a trust fund, something on why most small businesses collapse in year one, something on boring index fund investing that quietly beats the pros, and something on how to actually get people to like you. That last one sounds soft. It's not. Relationships open more doors than resumes ever will. Next, buy back your time. The average American burns hours every week on chores they could easily outsource. Cleaning, cooking, errands, walking the dog. Here's the math that changes everything. Take your yearly income, divide it by the hours you actually work. That's your real hourly rate. The second you can pay someone less than that rate to do a task for you, do it. Every hour you buy back is an hour you can throw at something that actually grows your money. Speaking of growth, don't just park your cash in the same 3 index funds forever. Once you've got a solid foundation, put a little spare cash into something with more upside. I had a friend who grabbed shares in a random tech company back in the day purely because the name sounded cool. Years later, that joke investment outperformed almost everything else in his portfolio. Stocks aren't the only play either. Watches, wine, art, classic cars, these can hold value or even beat the market. And unlike a number on a screen, you actually get to enjoy them while they grow. Now here's one people don't expect. Your partner is a financial decision. I know, weird flex for a money video, but stick with me. Married households in the US now sit at more than 4 times the median net worth of single households, according to Federal Reserve data. That's not a coincidence. 2 incomes, shared bills, someone keeping you accountable when you want to blow rent money on sneakers. I watched my older brother go from constantly broke to genuinely stable within a few years of marrying someone who matched his goals instead of fighting them. Choose a partner who builds with you, not against you, and the compounding effect on your bank account is real. Upgrade your teachers too. School taught you the quadratic formula, but never once explained a credit score. Real financial education usually comes from people, not classrooms. I got mine from a guy who ran the food truck near my old job. Watched him build that thing from a cart to 3 trucks and just started asking questions every shift. That's basically free mentorship. And it's more available now than ever because half the smartest people in business are already posting on YouTube and podcasts for free. The advice that stuck with me most was simple. Learn one high-income skill. Doesn't have to be manual labor either. Copywriting, video editing, using AI tools to build things for businesses, all of that can turn into real income fast. Once the money starts flowing, reinvest in your own machine. Think of any side hustle like a little engine that prints cash. At first, you just enjoy the output. Eventually, you realize you can pour some of that money back in to make it print more. A friend of mine started a small photography gig with a secondhand camera. The second her editing skills outpaced her gear, she upgraded, and clients noticed immediately. That upgrade paid for itself within a month. Better tools aren't an expense. They're fuel. Get serious about your numbers too. The second you're making real money, get proper accounting support, or at least software that tracks it for you automatically. Most people wait until tax season to panic. Don't be most people. Knowing your numbers in real time is what separates a hobby from an actual business. Take care of your body while you're at it, starting with your chair. Sounds boring, I know, but if you're sitting for 8 hours a day on garbage furniture, you're setting yourself up for a bad back and worse focus. This is one of those purchases that pays you back in productivity every single day. And sleep. Actually, sleep. Research on sleep deprivation found that staying awake for around 17 to 19 hours straight impairs your reaction time and judgment about as much as being at the legal drunk driving limit. Push past 24 hours awake and you're functionally worse than that. I learned this the hard way after pulling an all-nighter before a big presentation, walked into the meeting, blanked completely, and fumbled numbers I'd known cold the week before. Grinding matters, but so does rest. Track it if you have to. Your brain literally can't perform broke on sleep. Last one, and it's the one people argue with me about constantly. When you finally have money, spend it on experiences, not stuff. Here's why. Every purchase runs through 3 emotional stages: the anticipation, the moment, and the aftertaste. With objects, the anticipation is just annoying waiting. The moment feels great, And then the aftertaste fades fast because the object just sits there collecting dust. With experiences, the anticipation is exciting, the moment is high, and the aftertaste actually gets better with time because you keep retelling the story. I don't remember most stuff I bought years ago. I do remember whitewater rafting with my cousins on a trip that almost got canceled, and I still bring it up at every family dinner. So there you go. Books, time, smart investments, the right partner, better mentors, reinvesting in your grind, real financial tracking, a decent chair, actual sleep, and experiences over stuff. Do even half of these and future you is going to be way better off. Subscribe if you want more of this, and I'll see you in the next one.